See. Thank you.
His son.
What do you need?
Not a thing. You know, he screwed me out of my retirement money. Against your dad's wishes, by the way.
What are you talking about?
Don't get me started.
No, come on, what happened?
Your dad owned a racetrack. With the midget auto racing.
Yeah, the Chickamauga Raceway over in New Egypt.
And him, Herman, some other guy, Phil something, with the hair from New York.
Leotardo.
Yeah.
My father cut him in the pail for poker debt.
Johnny always told me his piece would go to me. Couldn't put me in his will, obviously. When he passed, your dad, I called Hesh. He sent me $500.
That's it?
I'm sorry.
No. Jesus Christ, I wish you'd called me.
Bruce sends me money occasionally.
But that's not the point. It's my father's wishes.
Look, forget it. Seriously, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even brought it up.
Listen, after we eat, you want to take a ride?
It ain't Kleenex. It's linen.
You know, you're very, I don't know, you got a lot of class.
Just like your girlfriend.
Look, consider this an advance. Get your phone turned on and pay your rent.
Your dad would be so proud. He raised a real gentleman. Damn, I'm happy. Get a load of these. My new kicks, Bottega Veneta, marked down to only $600.
Thought you were paying your phone bill.
I should have, I know. But it's been so long since I've been able to treat myself.
Oh, nice. So, turns out my Uncle Zito's going downhill. The day we met, I told you we were there at the cemetery to bury his wife, my Aunt Quinjena. 70 years they were together. Poor guy's taking it very hard.
Oh, my knight in shining armor.
What's up, y'all? In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Sopranos Season 5, Episode 7, titled In Camelot. Now, in the beginning, Tony is at another funeral. You know, at this time, in this stage, he's going to a lot. And he happens to want to visit his dad's gravesite, you know, reminisce old times. And he happens to stumble upon his dad's Gumar, who's doing the same thing. She's reminiscing on old times. You know, she just thinking about him and then happens to be there. Now, for plot's sake, I guess it just happens. It just so happens. But if you think about it, it kind of seems like a setup, in my opinion, because Junior, he's always in the newspaper, searching the obituaries. He's under house arrest from the FBI. And he's trying to find some excuse to get out of the house. So basically, you know, if people of his age are all kind of doing the same thing around that same area, you know, I don't think of it as a chance meeting, but just for plot's sake, we'll say it is. Now, first off, what do you think she's going to talk to him about? Why is she, money troubles. First thing she talks about is her money troubles. And once he gets engaged and wants to help her out with them, he kind of gets a little captivated. Now, my red pill analysis on that, is that on Tony himself, he's a blue pilled guy, but he does have he's blue pilled because of his dad. There's a scene in there where his dad is with the Gumar, when Tony's younger, and the mother goes into the hospital. If you're a fan of the series, you know what I'm talking about. The mother's in the hospital. Then she's called. The dad's missing because he's at the Gumar's house. Tony's trying to get a hold of his dad. He finally gets a hold of him. Then he comes back the next day. He's looking sad and looking like as sad as can be at the hospital. Then he turns around to Tony and asks basically Tony to lie for him. And to cover his back for him just, doing what the fuck he wants to do. I guess being an alpha male, but at the same time, he's in a blue pill situation, basically, as you would have looked at it. So, he asked Tony to lie for him. So that's what implants into Tony that he should always, cover up. That's the two worlds should never intersect. Basically, you can see it there, right there. It happens right at that moment for Tony. And but Tony's a blue pill guy, but he later on you're gonna see where he has a red pill. He puts on the red pill lens and he puts on the Cyclops lens, and he's he just yeah. Now that second time she mentions money troubles, he goes ahead and gives her some money, take care of her bills. She's crying. She needs some help. He comes to the rescue because Tony's basically blue pilled. This is what you really need to understand about female nature right here, and this is in full display. Now that scene where they're at the restaurant. He's dressing nice. She's dressing nice. All she could talk about is what? Oh, she got some new shoes. Who cares? Guys aren't looking at new shoes. We don't care about that. But she doesn't care. She's trying to trick the market. She's trying to game the system. She's trying to buy, expensive stuff. So expensive guys who have that kind of taste will go after her and think that they're the same type. Like attracts like. But of course, she's not thinking about how old she is, because she can always get somebody. She just can't get the guys that she really wants. All she can do is invest in her SMV, invest in how do you say it? Invest in the thing that gets her the thing that she really wants. Well, if I buy this will, or if I do this same thing, or if I have this behavior, depending on how high or how far she's been humbled, then she's trying to invest in something that's going to get her this other thing. She doesn't care about that, because she can get any, she said the other dude pays her bills and gives her a little money here and there. So she's got one benefactor. She's looking for the benefactor she's got the small donations benefactor, sponsor. Now she needs the big donation sponsor, so she can set up the CPAC and run for president. Okay, that's what she's trying to do. That's it. She's trying to get the higher hand in poker. She's gonna keep playing the dealer and dealing, even if she has no more chips. She'll keep selling off those scraps of viscosity, or what's the other word we call it now? Coach Greg Adams' term, whatever. I can't think of it at the moment, but yeah, she's gonna, and that's the moment where he sees it too, and then that point where she says, oh, my white knight has come, it's because Tony was going into the conversation about being a real woman and being in a marriage for so many long. Yeah, because he's talking about the funeral and being the type of woman that's staying there and being there through a marriage for so many years, and what's she gonna do now? And because she don't have that man, because that's all she had. Because that's what women had at that time, in that time frame, that mentality. If you had, or what have you. And she's just staring at him, looking at him like, what are you talking about? Or what? How do I engage in this conversation? She don't know, because she don't have to. It's never been brought upon her to think to get what she needed to get the attention. She never had to think to get the attention she wanted. She just had to stand there and be woman and look and be pretty, So she doesn't do that as often. So she still just don't know how to do it. She just don't know how to do it. So when the when the waiter comes with the champagne, my knight is shining armor. You know, Tony looks at her and is like, yeah, you don't care about nothing but yourself. You're just full of yourself. You're just wow. And he has that that's when he has that, because that realization, because basically think about it, just think about it. Why is she focused on the past? Because her present and her future are basically crap. Her life sucks. If she had something, she's based right at that moment, she's where's he find her at? Hanging around a dead man's home. Think about it. Come on, what is she doing? Why does she have time to do that if she was doing this and doing that? Because she's not from that. She just happened to touch that a few times, and it didn't work out in the end. She was too good to settle, so she's alone. She's good enough. She has she made enough to be independent. So once she's able to touch that world again, oh, I need some money, and Mr. Blue Pill obliges her. You know, you know. She had to she had to feed that machine though. That's all women do. They're just feeding the machine to get that attention and feel good about themselves because they have no reason to. Men create, women, consume. And eventually, if you consume too much, you're gonna get fat, and that's what usually happens to them in the end. When they don't really. For those who don't really, since there's more women than men, more of them aren't going to succeed. Especially when they take on, the wrong ideologies. And we all know what we're talking about.
Think about the future.